Hello, friend, and welcome to episode number 18 of the VIP Collective. All right, we're rolling.
Okay. Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So very excited to have you on today.
I'm so excited.
On
so
the
excited.
Collective. So for everyone who's watching and or listening, since we are both, we are with Dawna Boot from Dawna Boot Makeup.
Hello.
So excited to sit with you. We've worked together a few times, and it's always such a pleasure when I see you because you're always smiling. Do people say that to you? Or are people like, she's always smiling?
Yeah.
You are always have a big pearly white smile.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure. So for everyone who's listening and watching, why don't you give a little bit of background about who you are and what you do?
So I am Dawna Boot, owner and CEO of Dawna Boot Makeup. So for a long time, it was just myself. So I do makeup for bridal, special events, red carpet, and then it's kind of grown now into a beautiful thing. I have a team of 7 girls, and we now offer hair services as well. So we service the GTA, Muskoka, Niagara, hair makeup services for bridal, again, special event, red carpet.
Cool. So what was the beginning part of this? How did you decide that makeup was your thing?
Oh my gosh. I should have brought it. I have a photo my mom has of me. I was probably 3 or 4. Literally just covered head to toe in her makeup, wearing little high. It was just ingrained in me from a long time.
Oh, wow.
She used to get phone calls from when I was in school, like teachers saying, Donna's wearing makeup to school. It was just like a form of expression for me, and I just always loved it. I don't think I thought back in the day that it would have been something I would have chosen as a career path, but it presented itself to me, and I ended up going to school for it for a couple of years. And after that, I worked for Mac, I worked for Humber. I still work for Humber. I teach. I teach at Humber, and I've worked in TV as well. And bridal was always kind of on the sidelines, but it was something I absolutely loved. It was my favorite way of expressing my love for makeup, just to make somebody feel so beautiful on such an important day. It's like a high, and that I just couldn't get enough of. So I put everything else aside and really focused on the bridal.
So did it feel like when you worked in TV, were you working on TV shows, or were you working on news? Or?
I was working at The Score, which then got bought out by Sportsnet. And that was fun. It was a great experience. Actually did Chris Bosch's makeup for that. He's like the biggest person I've ever seen in my life. Like, you almost had to sit on the floor so I could reach him. He's so tall, so lovely. But yeah, it was a great experience just to see that end of the spectrum. But very, very, like, I would get up in the morning at like 4 a.m., work from 6 to 10 a.m. for The Score, work at Mac from 11 to 9, and then go to bed and do it all over again.
Oh my goodness.
So it was a lot, long hours. But I wasn't feeling that fulfilled, because as soon as you do somebody on air, they come in, they take it all off.
Right. So
I think that's why I just can't get enough of bridal, because they really appreciate what you're doing for them.
Right.
Making them feel that beautiful.
What school did you go to?
I went to Sheridan.
I
went to Sheridan in Oakville, and they had a 2-year program, which was pretty much every aspect of makeup. I learned fashion, I learned special effects, red carpet, bridal, everything. So that was fun. Yeah, Halloween's fun in my house. My husband loves it, just to like get completely like bloody and black eyes and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah.
Such a good, I love my job.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, you can just sense it, even just like when I'm around you on site and working on some of the brides, you can just sense it. So you have a team of girls.
I do.
So fill us in on.
Oh, they are phenomenal. Like, honestly, I could just get goosebumps, because they are just the most incredible group of women. It, again, wasn't something I thought I was ever going to do. I was just focusing on myself and my own path. And after I had my son, he was born in March. So right at the beginning of wedding season.
This past March?
No, he's 3.5 almost.
Oh, sorry.
now.
Yeah, you said he was 3. Okay.
2016 he was born.
Wow.
And so you know how it is. People book sometimes a year or 2 in advance. So March, April, May was a tough time for me in 2016. And it kind of was born because I had worked with these incredible ladies for years already, either through Mac meeting them, through freelance, through photo shoots. So I had a great team of resources. If I couldn't do something, I could ask for help.
Right.
And so we started working together a lot more and a lot more and a lot more. And I was like, you know what? I think this could be something. And so Dawna Boot Makeup was born. And those same women are still the lead of my team. It's very small, which I need to let go a little. It does want to grow. It definitely does.
Right.
But for us, it's not just about being talented and being an exceptional makeup artist. You have to have something special, because you're working with brides on such an important day, such a high nerve day. You have to have that like calming, gentle personality where you can make it all about the bride, and that's a natural feeling. Where it's not something forced. It's not something like that comes across arrogant. You have to just be this peaceful soul. And right now I have that in every single one of my girls. And so now going out to find more, I'm just like, I like where we're at, but I know it wants to grow. Right. And it is going to grow. It's really going to grow. But I just need to let it go a little and let it do what it wants to do. So
it's true, because you also, when you show up to a wedding day, it's sometimes 5 a.m.
Oh, sometimes 3 a.m.
Okay.
We start sometimes, because we're one of the first people that the bride will see that morning.
Yes.
So you have to bring like a sense of calm.
Right.
That morning.
That's what I was going to say. Like when people get out of bed, it's really hard to have somebody who's really
wired,
peppy and energetic. And you can be peppy and energetic. It's just like let it gradually progress to that, as opposed to just showing up and being,
like first thing in the morning.
Yeah. So it's kind of like you're massaging the relationship when you show up, and you're
you're taking cues, and you know how to kind of adjust yourself against your client.
Do you sometimes have to sit and like calm anyone down, or is it more of just you talk to them and just try to get them to relax a little bit? Or
I find, especially in the morning of a wedding day when the bride is there, if she's surrounded by her bridesmaids and her loved ones, so pretty much 9 times out of 10, it's like, I don't feel like it's my wedding day yet. It doesn't feel like it.
Yes.
Until she's in the chair with us, because usually she'll tend to go second last. And then when we can kind of almost see it happen, where it just like clicks in her mind, and she's like, that's when it's like, all right, we're going to just, talk you down, talk about, distract them a little bit. How did you meet your fiance? How did he propose? Like just to distract her from her nerves. Mm-hmm. So to be able to do that and have all the girls kind of pick up on those cues, they're so intuitive. It's not an easy thing to find in somebody. Mm-hmm. So I think that's why we've stayed at a group of 7 for so long, because you have to have like a whole package. You really do.
Yeah.
So,
do you do grooms?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that's always fun. Like the grooms are always like usually being chirped by their friends, and it's pretty quick, so we try not to let them sit in the chairs for too long.
Right.
But yeah, certainly they like to be pampered too. My husband calls it being GQ'd, ready for the GQ magazine. Just nice, proper grooming.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure, definitely, it's like becoming more and more popular.
Do you do like shaving and hair cutting, or is it just kind of like freshening?
I'd say coverage of any blemishes, powder them so they're matte. We can style their hair. But any of like shaving, grooming, that kind of thing, they need to do that ahead of time.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Especially, I wanted to ask because it's been so hot as of recent, being that we are filming in the summer.
Yes.
What's like, is there a certain like tool or a certain foundation or something that you recommend people use to kind of get away from sweaty, shiny looks?
I would say definitely a lot of it is about skin prep. So if you're putting something very oily, very emollient based on the face before anything else, that's just going to start to melt. So skin prep ahead of time, oil-free products, primer is major. Givenchy makes a product called Mr. Matte, which my husband's name is Matt, so I gift that to him quite frequently. And he usually just puts that on, or we usually start with that on a groom or a father of the bride, just to continue like that matteness throughout the day, keeps a barrier between the skin and whatever we put on top. With men, we try not to put on too much foundation. It's more like spot treatment, concealer, and then a nice layer of like a translucent powder to lock it all in, and setting spray.
Because I've recently it was hot.
Oh yeah, it's been so hot.
And I was always so impressed. I was like, oh my God, they're not even sweating.
They're not sweating. They're just matte. Yeah, that's good.
But there's like a system to...
Oh yeah, a full system.
Should brides be taking care of their skin like months beforehand?
Oh yeah.
What kind of like exfoliating?
I would say it starts from like the time you're going to get engaged, especially if you have problematic skin. put a system in place. If you don't have a makeup artist ready, you can talk to maybe a dermatologist or an esthetician that you trust. Definitely get a regime in place, because the month before your wedding is no time to start trying new products. Something you can break out with or become allergic to, it's not the time. So I'd say a year out, if you're going to start to try new products, that's the time. Exfoliation is key. Get rid of all those dead skin cells. Facials, there's a one from Tessero Beauty called the Bridal Glow Facial. It's like a 2-hour facial. It is the most exquisite thing I've ever had.
Really?
That
you
is
do
incredible.
Yourself?
I do myself, yeah.
It's like a kit or something?
No, I go to them. It's
you go to them?
Oh, yeah. And it's like 2 hours of pampering. My skin has never looked better than after that facial. Wow. And I definitely suggest my brides go for that too. It's not abrasive. It just really, really gets the skin kind of set. And then they can also walk you through what products would be best for your skin type.
How often is something like that? So like once a week, every 2 weeks, once a month?
Bridal Glow, that facial specifically, I'd say once every 5 weeks.
Okay.
Especially if you're going to get into like doing peels and that kind of stuff, maybe like once every 3 months. So it's definitely why you want to start further out. Before my wedding, I did some IPL treatments, which is like a laser to get rid of any like dark spots on my skin. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I had to start that at least a year before my wedding.
Okay.
Yeah, because you don't want to do anything too close. Your skin needs to be able to shed and react, and you don't want to do anything close before that. I also say like no waxing, no threading a couple days before. Do that like 5 days out in case you react. But yeah, you definitely don't want to start with like anything new like the month before.
Right.
Yeah. I don't even like them eating foods they've never eaten a month before, because I don't want you to have allergic reactions to anything, break out with it anyway.
It's true. You have to be careful on reactions, which is not something that everyone thinks about.
No.
How often or how early are people booking for makeup services?
It's crazy. Sometimes we have people who basically book their venue and we're the next thing they book. So sometimes it's 2 years out. Mm-hmm. And we also have people that come to us and they're like, we're getting married in 2 weeks. Are you available?
Wow.
So there's no spectrum really.
Right.
So
it could be anything.
It can be anything.
Right.
Yeah. We've experienced it all. So.
And so how many girls go on a morning? Completely depends on size.
Depends on size of wedding party. Depends on time they have to be ready by. I like to make it accommodating for everybody. If it's like a giant wedding party, they have to be ready by 10. I don't want my artist up at 3 a.m. to get 10 people ready. I would rather send at least 2 artists, later start time. Just kind of works out better for everybody. Right. But again, it depends. It totally depends on a lot of factors.
So what's the system, or what do you offer?
Okay.
So what do you offer in terms of like packages? Because run me through, because I'm not really familiar. I know there's full day, I know there's half day, there's mornings.
Yeah, all kinds of stuff.
What's the rundown here?
So we do either per person services, which is where the artist would come, do the makeup, and then leave. We offer half day services where the artist would come, do the makeup or hair, and then they stay for about 3 to 4 hours after the final service has been completed for touch-ups for the morning part of the photos, maybe a touch-up before the ceremony, if time permits, a touch-up right after the ceremony. And then they would depart. Okay. After that, we offer a full day service, which is they're with you from pretty much 10 hours. So from the moment they arrive at 6 a.m., they're with you either till 4 p.m. We can add on hours, so it's a full 12-hour day. And then they're just with you by your side, an extra set of hands. They do your makeup and or hair in the morning. They're with you before your ceremony for any touch-ups. They're with you after your ceremony. They're with you for your portraits, with your bridal party, with your groom. They're with you touch-up or hair and makeup change before reception. Usually by reception, we kind of depart. We've had brides ask that we stay until after speeches, if they're certainly more emotional, which is no problem. So yeah, we offer a lot. We also offer, if you prefer per person services in the morning, then maybe you schedule a touch-up like maybe 5-6 hours later before your reception. Especially if you know you're more, like everything we use is waterproof, but sometimes you want to feel a little bit fresher, especially if you're starting at 6 in the morning. Mm-hmm. So we offer a return for touch-up service as well.
So what's the most popular?
Actually, this summer, full day has been crazy.
Yeah.
With the heat, I mean, we had a bride that was literally just standing there. Like, all of her bridesmaids would come and gather for photos. She did not move, and she was just pouring sweat. Wow. So hot.
And probably in the shade she was
in the shade. Oh, yeah.
Because it was just the humidity.
But like 40-degree day, she was just roasting in that dress. So to have somebody on hand that's just kind of dabbing, fixing, she doesn't have to worry about a thing like that, especially when you're investing so much like in your photos and in your video, and you just, why not invest in yourself too? Like, you've bought such a beautiful gown, you want to look the part full day. And even though everything we use, it's waterproof, we do airbrushing, which is water resistant, sweat proof. still nice to have that, like, oh, I've had a drink, or I've smudged my lipstick, or the wind blew across my hair and on my lip. You know what I mean? It's nice to have, to not worry about your face.
Yeah. Like, that's the person that's going to watch your back.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the style of, do you, like, when someone says, what's your style of makeup? Is there
There is, yeah, most
name
certainly. I would say natural glam, where we try to make sure that you feel most like you, but the very best version of yourself. Mm-hmm. So when you look in the mirror, you're not like, whoa, but you're like, oh my gosh.
Vavoom.
Like, yeah, like I feel beautiful, but I can still see me in there. So that's probably across the board. All of our artists can deliver like heavy glam or any kind of look that you want. But we're most known for that like natural glam.
I can see that on your face right now.
Mommy had a couple minutes this morning to get ready.
Do you ever leave the house without makeup?
Oh, girl. All the time. Like, my go-to products are usually done either in the car while my husband drives, like my makeup, or once I get somewhere. Like, it's a quick BB cream, a mascara, a bronzer, and a lip gloss.
Natural glam.
That's my day to day. Yeah, today we put on some lashes for this special occasion, but yeah, usually it's very natural.
Really? Yeah. Are you from Toronto, or are you?
So, originally from Brampton.
Okay.
Now living again in Brampton. Was in Orangeville for a while.
Yeah.
We're all over though. Some of our artists are in Oakville, Burlington, Richmond Hill, Toronto. Mm-hmm. So we're kind of all over. So I also like to, if I know it's like a Burlington client, then I'll try to get my Burlington artist on it. Just minimizes travel costs, minimizes travel for the artist.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're kind of all over. So GT is obviously definitely where we work the most. Actually, Niagara's been quite busy this year, too.
You have girls that are kind of all over Central, GTA, available to kind of head wherever, whenever needed.
Yes.
So what's next for you in terms of team expansion? Give us the rundown of what's going to happen.
Ooh, this is something I've been excited to talk about, which I've kept under wraps now for probably almost 10 months. But we are actually expanding to the West Coast.
Wow.
So come October, I am moving to BC.
Amazing.
To start a West Coast team out there. I'll be personally coming back and forth a lot for work because the Toronto team is not going anywhere. It is going to be expanding as well. So yeah, we're going to be Toronto and BC based going forward.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's crazy. I'm so excited.
I bet.
I'm so excited.
I bet.
So yeah, we're looking at, I'm going to be living right between Whistler and Vancouver. Okay. So we're going to kind of monopolize on that and, see what happens out there as well.
So what brings going to Vancouver? What sparks it?
So, you know what? Honestly, it's been something my husband and I have been kind of talking about for a long time, like where we want to live, how we want to raise Ben. We would eventually like to expand our family. And LA has always been on the table for me, but raising a family in the States does make me a bit nervous for obvious reasons. So we thought, what and where can we live still in Canada that I can expand my business, I can maybe be close to LA, but also continue to do what I love for a region that needs what I do. And BC presented itself. And we went and explored, and we've done a ton of research and made a lot of connections out there, and it has been born. We just closed on our house out there.
Wow.
So my husband will actually leave mid-September to start his job out there, and I'll leave at the end of October.
That's amazing.
I stopped booking myself. October 19th is my last bride.
In Toronto.
So
Vancouver's amazing. I don't know. Like, are you familiar with it, or like you just went there and kind of fell in love with it?
Yeah, I went there. I fell in love with it. Absolutely in love with it. Like, it's just, I don't know if it's that West Coast vibe, but it's so relaxed. It's so chill. Those mountains are like nothing I've ever seen before. We went out. I didn't want to come back. I was just like, this is phenomenal. So, and a great space. Our son just loves to be outside. It's a great space for him to grow up. And my husband's very outdoorsy. He loves mountain biking and snowboarding. So it just was like, that's a perfect fit.
Yeah. So how do you find building a brand with your name? Mm-hmm. Because I've done it, and a lot of other folks that we've had on have done it.
Yeah.
And what's your take on that? Do you like what you've created with your brand, and it is a brand that is your name, or would you prefer to do something that has a different naming convention? What's your?
You know what? I've thought several times about changing it just to take the focus off of myself. But at this point, people kind of know what they're getting when they book with us, and people have been referring, and I think we're too far in now to change it. And yeah, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it doesn't necessarily feel like you need to be on site at this point, because you've got your handpicked
we have
girls.
Oh my gosh, we have people that are booking like 2 years from now, and they're like, I want Agnia, I want Marlene, is Paulina available, I need Anya. Like, they know who they're getting.
So do you give your girls profiles, like when like on social media as well, you're showing who does what? So
definitely on our website it's listed, like they have their headshot, they have their work attached to it, so you can see if you want Agnia, you can click on Agnia, read about her bio, and see work that she's done with our team. Same with on Instagram, like in the highlights section we have like work that's done by everybody, and then our full Instagram is just a blend of everybody's work,
right?
But the aesthetic is so similar that it's not like, oh, I can pick out this or I can pick out that. It's like, if you want to work with our team, you kind of get a general feel of what you're going to get.
Right. So are you going to expand and have girls in the West Coast as well? Like, are you looking now for girls in the West Coast?
Yeah.
Ooh, baby.
Yeah.
Are you going to teach out there, do you think?
I've thought about it too. West Coast is a bit different for schooling. So Ben won't start school till he's 5. So he's in kind of a Montessori half-day situation when we get out there, which may go into full days. We'll see how he does. But again, if we're going to start another, fingers crossed, have another baby, I think I'll wait there's a couple really good makeup schools out there, but I want to be like completely prepared and ready to jump in head first. So I'm just going to now focus on building the business out there, building the brand out there, and focus for now just on bridal and red carpet, and maybe teach a little bit more in the future, which I hope I do, because I really do love it.
Yeah.
I really do.
What does red carpet mean?
Red carpet means if you have like a special event, or if you're going to say, well, if you're going to be on a red carpet, we do have clients that are actually going to galas and that sort of thing. It's where you just do like a nice, beautiful glam. You have to take into consideration, again, like a wedding day, what they're wearing, how their hair is styled. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hour long glam session, which is very similar to what it is on a wedding day, but you just want to make sure they feel beautiful and look like themselves.
Do you have some clients that you maybe have done their makeup for their wedding, and then now if they go to a gala, like you're their number one?
Oh, yeah.
So do you have like some long-term relationships that you've had?
Yeah, most certainly. It's like, or I'm going to be in this wedding and I want you to do my makeup, or I'm going here, I'm going there, or I'm in this in a month, or whatever. I have a client that literally every single Christmas books me for her Christmas party, and I did her entire family's weddings years ago.
Wow.
So, but she still needs that like glam for the biggest event of her year. So yeah,
it's funny in this industry that you get to be with people on like this intimate day, but then usually the relationship travels longer than just that day, typically, and depending on what vendor you are. But
we get to see them pregnant for their maternity shoots. We get to see them for the shoots that they do for newborn shoots. So it's really nice to be able to develop that relationship and that comfort level, that on such more important events throughout their lifetime, we still get to see them and get to follow up. So,
that's huge.
Yeah. It gives me goosebumps, actually. I love it. I love it. I love it so much.
If somebody comes in and wants to go to school for makeup, what's kind of something you might say to them? Like, obviously everyone loves the finished look, but do they really need to learn about skin types and the foundations and the base? Is that kind of like, you have to be interested in a certain aspect initially?
You know what? Yes and no. I mean, I wouldn't say school is crucial, because some of our best artists are self-taught. You just have to have that passion, and you have to want to know and want to learn and have the time and take the time to do so on your own if you're not going to go to school, because you do need to learn about different skin types, different skin conditions. And I think the biggest thing you need to know is the products you're carrying, what they do, how they work for you, how they work on different people. You really need to get to know your kit. It's probably one of the biggest and most important things to know.
How do you source different products?
Oh, I don't know if it just comes with the territory, but like, we're all seem to be makeup junkies. So there is new products literally every day. Like, you blink and something else is new on the market. So it is a little bit overwhelming, but I just love to try everything. So if I love it, I try it. It'll go in my kit if I love it. If I don't love it, well, then it goes into, Mom, do you want an eyeliner? Like, kind of thing. Like, but you have to, right? You have to try everything. And if it works, And you got to give it some time to really try it out.
Yeah.
If it's a good product, then you purchase it for your kit.
Do you have questionnaires that you send people ahead of time?
Yes. So if they are going to book with us, there's a big questionnaire on our website for what they're looking for. And then there's also frequently asked questions. So if they have questions that personally weren't answered in, say, the website where they're finding it, they can click the frequently asked questions, and there's a ton of information there for them as well. Mm-hmm.
A lot of research goes into wedding planning. And
so much.
Yeah.
Holy moly, so much.
Because that's what I say, like, when I'm chatting with people, I'm like, this is the first time you're ever looking for this service. Yeah. And probably the last. Yeah. And so, like, you don't necessarily know what to ask. Yeah. So I think having, like, an FAQ is a pretty good idea.
Yeah. Because
then it eliminates them having to reach out with all those questions.
Yeah. Yeah. You can just kind of source back to it.
Yeah.
But
very true.
Yeah. And trials. I mean, we suggest it's completely up for the bride. If she wants to do a trial, it's her comfort level. I would say probably about 60% of our clients do trials. Mm-hmm. And we're happy to accommodate that. That way it gives them an idea, because so many times they're like, I want to look like Kim Kardashian. I want to look like so-and-so. I want smoky eyes. I want nude lips. But they've never done it.
Right.
So let's try it out, see how you feel in it. If you don't feel like it, the wedding day is not the day to try new things. Right. The wedding day is the day to know what you're going to look like, to know that you're going to be comfortable in your glam. So trial is a pretty big thing we like to offer too.
And like Kim's look might not look good on our body.
Yeah, no. No. And Kim's look takes like 3 to 4 hours.
No way.
Yeah. I did a masterclass with Mario in LA. Kim was the model.
I wanted to ask you about this.
It was amazing. It was so visually stimulating just to be in the lineup outside, just to see all these beautiful men and women just put together so well. Crazy beautiful glam. And so by the time we even got in there, I was like so happy, so visually stimulated. And then to see Mario come out and Kim, who's iconic.
Did you know she was going to be there, or was she a surprise guest?
Yeah, okay. I knew she was going to be there. It was just such a good
Did
experience.
she speak?
She did, and she's so nice. And she's really funny.
Is she funny?
Yeah, and she's obviously stunning. But she's tiny. I didn't expect her to be so tiny. She's tiny. But yeah, she's beautiful. She's beautiful. But his glam, he'll say, like, it'll take... The class you did one look was 6 hours. Yeah, with the break for lunch.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But he'll say, like, if for like the Met Gala, it was like a 4-hour glam sesh.
So what's a takeaway from like a masterclass for you? Do they talk about mindset, or do they mostly focus on makeup business?
He did both, which the takeaway, I would say there were 2 big things for me. One, you come back and you're so inspired just from being around such artistic people. And just seeing another artist like do what they do best is just always so inspiring. They talk about new products and stuff you maybe wouldn't have done or used in that way. But the other takeaway I got from him was how he explained how important it is for self-care. And he actually doesn't even live in LA. He lives in New York. Mm-hmm. He's Kim's like #1 artist, but he's like, I need to be removed from the situation. So, and he takes a lot of him time, which is something I struggle with, because right now I am the admin, I am the lead artist, I am a mom, I am a wife, I am moving across the country. So it's a lot. Like right now I need to, just a couple things, right?
I mean, it's not that much, Donna.
Right?
Come on, girl.
You're
being really dramatic. Joking.
Right? I'm just like, I need to like take a bit of me time. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so did he say like is it meditation?
I think he likes to spend time in nature, he said. He likes to like get out there and just like no phone and just like kind of turn off for a bit and just like reconnect.
What's your really downtime? What's your idea of like self-care?
What would I like?
Yeah.
Well, so right now there's this beautiful path in the forest near my parents' house. So I like to leave my phone, because if I bring my phone, I find if I'm still with my son, I'm still like somebody's texting or somebody's emailing, I'm still getting back right away. I like to leave my phone alone, and I just like to be immersed in what is actually going on. Mm-hmm. So whether we're on a bike ride, whether we're at the beach, I like to just be there.
Right.
Which is hard for me sometimes. So I need to just allow myself to say, you know what, this is your life. Put your phone down. Work is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Put it down. You can do it in an hour.
Yeah.
Which I'm getting better at it. It'll still be there.
Right?
It'll
That's
still
the
be
saying.
there, right?
It'll still be there tomorrow.
It'll still be there tomorrow.
So, like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it today. Just live a little, which
I always find it tricky because I like to go out in nature as well. And then I'm like, I'm not bringing my phone. I like put up this stance. But then I get out there and
like,
I'm a camera nerd. And I'm like, oh, this is a pretty picture.
Yeah.
And then I want to take a photo.
And then you don't have your camera.
So I bring it by default because if I see a cool photo, but at the same time, that nature's not going anywhere either. No, so I could go there tomorrow and get the same,
So true.
I mean, so
true.
I do like to leave it once in a while just because you need that disengagement once in a while.
Honestly, you need it. I actually saw, she was like she's incredible. She's a former artist that I've had a relationship with for a long time. And she's now really gotten into like more of a spiritual, like Reiki and psychic sort of thing. So it was one of the first things she said. She's like, you need to disconnect. Like, we didn't even talk about it, but she's like, you need to disconnect. You need to put your phone down. You need to have some time for you. So I was like, okay, well, yeah, I know. I know I do. So that I struggle with it, but I'm getting better.
Yeah.
I'm getting better.
It's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not.
Well, I'm excited. I want to come see you in Vancouver.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
It's going
to be amazing.
I love it there. I still have a lot of people that are there who I'm excited to see because I'm going tomorrow.
I'm excited to be creeping your stories for sure.
Yeah.
I'll have to get used to like seeing the bears on the side of the road though. That was new.
I didn't see any bears.
I was totally into it.
Is that a thing? The bears are around?
We were driving down a road and we my husband's like, there's a bear. So we just like turned around and pulled over on the other side of the street just to like look at it because my son had never seen a bear.
So stay safe.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Bear spray, whistles, the whole 9 yards. Yeah.
Well, you'll have your makeup kit.
Yeah.
All the spray.
If I need to. Yeah.
Just if you put bear spray in your makeup kit, don't mistake it for hairspray.
Setting spray or hairspray.
Right. Set spray.
Note to self, princess. Don't forget.
And it's like 5 a.m. and it's dark and you don't know what's
like,
what.
Which one's what?
Bear spray, hairspray, what is it? Don't do that.
Leave the bear spray in the car. No.
Not a good start for Vancouver, but I think you'll
be all right. Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah. Well, that's fun. A few more questions before I let you go.
Okay.
Back into the big, beautiful world. How many years ago did you start the business?
The business itself started about 3 years ago now. It started in July of 2016. Mm-hmm. But I've been freelancing and doing makeup forever, but for my business, since I graduated school at 20. So 14 years.
How many years?
14 years.
Nice.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of change.
Yeah.
A lot of different things, a lot of amazing products.
For sure.
Yeah.
So if I was going to start a makeup business, what comes first? Buying product, marketing? What do you do first?
I would say you definitely need to invest in yourself, and by doing so, a good kit. Like, you want to work with good quality products, you want to work with good quality brushes. Not saying you have to go out and spend a ton of money, but maybe get a couple things, do your research on what is good, and practice on anybody that will sit for you. I probably got a better education working for Mac than I did going to school. I'm glad I went to school because it kind of taught me like the basics, but working for Mac, you're forced to work on every skin tone, every skin type, every age. And that was worth so much more than what my college degree, because you're forced to have somebody sitting in your chair that maybe you've never worked on their skin tone or their age before, and you have to make a beautiful makeup for them and make them feel beautiful. So practice on anybody and anyone that will sit for you. Well, certainly. I would say.
When you practice, say you'll do their full makeup and then they leave, do you do like, okay, come back in a couple, like if it's your mom, and then you like come back in a few hours, just so you can see how it sets?
Yeah.
Is that kind of a thing?
See how it sets, see how it moves. You can ask them, maybe if it's not somebody that you see regularly, send you a photo at the end of the night. Just to kind of see how it's looked, or a video, or FaceTime them, just so you can see how things have moved and shifted, and if things have oxidized. Like, you really need to get to know what is in your kit, what products you're using, and how they may change throughout the day, and how you can manipulate them and work with other products in your kit. Okay. Once you know your kit, you can work on anybody. Okay. Anywhere, anytime.
How often do you have to change things up in your kit in terms of like cleanliness and brushes?
Brushes, after they're used, like for us, what we do is we have like our clean brushes, and then we have our dirty brushes. So if we do a wedding, that brush has been used on the bride, it goes in the dirty pile. When we get home, we wash everything. Personal use, I mean, I would say once every couple of weeks, you definitely want to wash your personal brushes. But for us, we wash our brushes after every use. We sanitize everything with alcohol. So before we put on lipstick, eyeliner, lip liner, everything is sharpened, sanitized. That is key.
Right.
If you use a dirty product or a dirty brush on somebody, they get some kind of reaction, cold sore, pink eye, anything like that, your reputation will go down the drain. You have to make sure you're using clean, sanitized practices, which is something good at school because you do learn that. We ingrain that into your muscle memory.
Number one.
Yeah. Practice for sure. I would do your research. I would practice on yourself, but make sure you practice on other people because of course you can get good at doing your own face. You see it every day, but to learn on different faces and different skin tones and different skin types and different ages, do as many people as you can.
It also, if you were to work somewhere like MAC or maybe Sephora, it gives you your body getting used to standing.
Yeah, the stamina that you need. Yeah.
Because it's legit.
Yeah.
Like you're doing full days on your feet. It's like it's like hair, right?
Yeah.
Hair's the same.
Yeah, hair's the same. Full days on your feet.
Yeah.
So yeah, even apprentice somewhere. If you're doing hair, apprentice at a salon, or if you're doing makeup and you want to really get into it, work for Sephora. Because not only do you get to work on so many different people, you get to know so many different products.
Yeah.
So even for a year, 6 months, just to do it.
Yep.
It will better you.
Did you have a mentor?
I did.
Yeah.
Yes, I had a mentor she was actually one of my teachers at Sheridan. She taught for 6 months. And after I graduated, she kind of took me under her wing, and she was starting her own bridal business. So I worked with her for a long time, and it was a great experience, honestly. It was a really great experience to be able to be on set and kind of learn from her and see kind of what she does and how it's done, because it was a brand new world to me.
Yeah.
So if you can get it with somebody, an apprentice, or get a mentor, assist, work for free. Like that's how you're going to get the experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then let's talk a little bit about marketing as a makeup business. What do you feel is working for you right now from a marketing standpoint?
Instagram is nuts. Instagram is amazing. We've had people from all over the world find us on Instagram. If you use the hashtags and you tag things properly, people find you. So one of our biggest ones, Toronto Makeup and Hair. People
As
that
your
are in,
hashtag?
Yeah, people that are in Toronto, they're going to look through that. They're going to see your work if it's done well.
Yep.
You also want to post a picture that is a good picture. Don't just post, you've taken 10 pictures and you're going to post all 10. Like, pick the best one.
Right.
Because that is going to really focus and let people see, your good work versus a couple that aren't photographed so well. The lighting is off. Like, the makeup might be beautiful, but the photo itself isn't.
Right.
So really focus on posting a good photo of your work. Tagging people. Stories are big now. People love to see that. So I feel like Instagram has been major for us.
So do you have any advice if I'm a bride and I call you and I say, hi, Dawna Boot from Dawna Boot Makeup. I'm getting married in a year. What do I do?
What do you do? Well, you book us. Because if you don't, we're going
to book you.
If you're a bride and you're searching for your hair and makeup team, I would say if you're not sure where to go or for what to do, try out some different teams. You want to look like yourself if that's your goal, but you also want to be able to vibe with that person. Keep in mind they're the first vendor you're going to see the morning of your wedding day. So if you don't match, if your energies don't match, if you're not vibing, there's a million talented people in the city.
Yep.
Somebody's going to vibe with you.
Yep.
That's crucial for me, I think.
Yeah. So do you have an in-person meeting with everybody who's booking, or do you do FaceTimes?
No. Sometimes we'll do FaceTime, we'll Skype, email, talk on the phone. Exactly.
So meetings are still happening, but I feel like they're going to...
online.
It's going to be a little bit more FaceTime-ish.
More FaceTime-ish, yeah. Especially with everybody so busy.
Yeah.
So it's hard. And then when we do the trial, we like to carve out like a couple hours to really sit with you, get your vibe, get like the whole look, piece it together, and create some magic with you. So
for sure. Well, I'm excited you created magic here today on the Beauty Collective with me.
Thank you for having me.
But before we leave, I would like you to pose a question to our audience. So something that you might be curious about at all, anything in the world.
I want to know, bride and or vendor, when looking or booking your hair and makeup team, What is the single most important thing for you as a bride when looking for that, or you as a vendor to refer them out? It's going to be different, I think, depending on bride or vendor. But what is the single most important thing when booking your hair and makeup team?
Good one.
Yeah.
I like it. Answer, everyone.
Answer!
Great question.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming out. I'm very excited for you and your trip to Vancouver.
Thank you.
Your move, I should say. It's not a trip.
Yeah, it's going to be
a new lifestyle.
crazy.
And
wild.
when the collective goes to Vancouver next, let's have a sit down.
Let's have a sit down.
You in?
A little follow-up. I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in.
Amazing.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Donna.
Thank you for having me.
Let's cheers it
Cheers,
out, girlfriend. All right, guys, that is it for episode number 18. If you liked it, please feel free to give us one of these. And you can hit the subscribe button so you don't miss next Wednesday's episode. As always, we thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week on the VIP Collective.